What's up, YouTube? It's Lions Fan Express coming at you with that man-to-man press. And in today's video, we're going to do an NFL mock draft using the Pro Football Focus mock draft simulator. We're going to be picking as the Detroit Lions. So we have the pick number 6 and another first-round pick in pick 18. I believe we have eight total picks, so a lot of good number of picks to play with. This isn't going to be a trade draft, so we're just going to be picking the best player at that position. I know in some of the draft, obviously it's not going to be realistic not to have trades, but just to keep it simple, we're just going to do a no trade for now. And this is basically what I think that's best for the team, not necessarily what Brad Holmes would do, though we might have some similar opinions on that. And yeah, we're just going to kind of see where the draft takes us. So let's start the draft. All right, wow. Okay, so Will Levis, who I'll be completely honest, I'm not high on at all. I think that he is overhyped. Definitely a player that has potential, but I definitely like C.J. Stroud a lot better. But when it comes to quarterbacks, as for the Lions, I don't think we need to take a quarterback at the 6th overall pick. Basically, I think that that's just not something that they should be looking at. Well, you should be looking at all options, but when it comes to quarterback, I'm not super high on taking one with the number 6 overall pick. Quentin Johnston, Devon Witherspoon's there. I know a lot of people like him, including myself. I think that he's feisty. He's got just the physicality. He plays like he plays corner like a safety. Like, he's a hard hitter. He's aggressive. He's physical. Prone to a little bit of penalties, and he's a little bit on the shorter side. But I still think that he would be a great addition to the team. Plus, it's a big need. Brian Branch, Christian Gonzalez, I also like too. Then you got a couple defensive linemen, offensive linemen. So, I think the best player available for us right now at this position, if we couldn't trade down, obviously if there's a quarterback, I think that it would definitely be wise to trade down. You can still get maybe like a Devon Witherspoon or a Brian Branch. But I'm just going to take Devon Witherspoon at 6. Again, a little bit rich for me. I personally like, I do like Joey Porter Jr. More as a coverage corner, but I think Devon Witherspoon definitely has some upside, definitely has the potential to be a starter caliber quarter in the league. So, and if that doesn't work out, he technically can always move to safety because I feel like that's more of a natural fit anyways. But let's draft him there. All right. So picking at pick number 18, Elijah Cansey is there. I actually really like him as well. He plays at Pittsburgh. He's 6'1", 280 pounds. He had a really good season. He reminds me, he's not the caliber of player, but he reminds me a lot of Aaron Donald. Like, the comparisons obviously are going to come from there because they're the same build. They went to the same college, but he really does. Like, the way he plays, and he plays bigger than he actually is. And so I watched this film. Definitely think he's one of the better defensive line prospects in this draft. We don't really need a tackle, receiver. Joey Porter Jr. again. I don't know why he's ranked so low, but I think he's the best coverage corner in this draft. Bijan Robinson. I'm tempted. I'm not going to lie. I'm tempted. Bijan is the best back in this draft. He would be an ultimate weapon on the offensive side of the ball. You might as well give him Offensive Rookie of the Year because behind that offensive line, he would definitely have over 1,500 yards rushing. So, and I truly believe that. So, I'm tempted, but I think we need to go defense in the first couple rounds, and then when we get to the second round, that's when we can kind of play a little bit and maybe add a offensive player or a defensive player. So let's draft Elijah Cansey out of Pittsburgh. Let's add him to the draft. And that already solidifies the secondary, the defensive line, and now really you just need a linebacker on defense at all 3 levels to complete that defense. So we're just going to kind of see who we have here. Wow, a lot of good prospects. The Kansas State edge, Garrett Williams from Syracuse is pretty good. Nick Herberg, I haven't really watched this film yet. But Jahmyr Gibbs is like basically an Alvin Kamara type player. Really good running back, explosive, but he's also an amazing receiving back. And I think that would definitely be an option. He's on the smaller side, so I don't know if he can be a bell cow running back. But let's see. See a safety. They got Sidney Brown, Jordan Battle, Skinner. So we could probably actually take a safety maybe in the later rounds. I still think it's a need, but let's look at interior offensive lineman because we do need an offensive guard as well. Andrew Voorhees is definitely an option. I think that he needs to. He would be a good addition to the team. So I think that was definitely an option as well. Let's just check running back out because I'm really high on Zach Charbonnet too. I actually think I like Zach Charbonnet a little bit better than I even do Jahmyr Gibbs. I think Jahmyr Gibbs is obviously he's more of like a receiving back, but Zach Charbonnet is more of like a power runner. He's not going to break like a lot of big gains, but he falls forward every single time. He's a big, strong back that is a true bell cow back. If you wanted a running back that could get 25 plus carries a game, Zach Charbonnet would be your guy. And of course, a lot of Michigan fans, now the Lions fans would probably recognize him from the University of Michigan as well. So, I'm tempted. Do I go offensive line, linebacker? I guess I got to. Pro Football Focus. What are you guys doing? How's Trenton Simpson, the #1 linebacker in this class, ranked 59 and is sitting there in the second round? Okay, I'm sorry guys. We still will take a guard and a running back maybe later, but Trenton Simpson, he's a dog. He can do it all. He can coverage. He's the best coverage linebacker in this draft. And the Lions fans, what is one thing that the Lions have struggled with on defense for ever since DeAndre Levy? They can't cover, right? The linebackers have struggled to cover tight ends and running backs, and this guy can cover. He's one of the best coverage linebackers in this draft. He's versatile. He could play kind of like a nickel safety kind of position as well. Good blitzer, really good tackler as well. Just all around, he really reminds me of Isaiah Simmons coming out of college. Maybe not as great of an athlete, but when it comes to it, I think that Trenton Simpson definitely should be the pick. So I'm going to pick him, and then hopefully that kind of solidifies. And you know what? We still get Jahmyr Gibbs is still sitting there. So, I mean, it kind of did work out because we have 2 second-round picks as well. So, and Zach Charbonnet is still there too. So that really ends up working out well. I think that we definitely need to look at all of our options, but I really like Zach Charbonnet. I'm going to draft him as well. Let's add him to the team. So we got a great running back. We got 3 defensive players at all 3 levels that will impact the game right away. And let's see who they have maybe at defensive line. Okay, so Jacqueline Roy, he's decent. He's got some pass rushing upside, but he's not really a good run stopper. Gavon Dexter, I really like. Byron Young, I've heard some good things about from Alabama. So there's definitely some decent defensive linemen. And then, but again, I think Tyree Wilson can kind of fill that hole of as an interior defensive lineman. Let's look at cornerback too as well. Jalen Jones, I actually really like Jalen Jones. I think that he can flip his hips, run with the receivers. Clark Phillips is he's smaller, but he's definitely a good cornerback as well. I think, let's see, safety. We've got Christopher Smith, J.L. Skinner, Brandon Joseph, Jair Brown. Okay, and then let's check out interior offensive line. Andrew Versace. Okay, so he's still sitting there. I just don't know if we're going to be able to get him if we end up passing up on a guard. It's tough. It's tough when you get to the 3rd round because then it's really trying to all right, you need to get value for the pick, but you also want to get a really good player as well. It's or can you wait till the later rounds to get this player? So personally, if it's me, let's go back to cornerback. think Jalen Jones would be an option. Is there any definitely some cornerbacks too that I could take later in the draft. I don't know, guys. What should I do? I'm a little stumped. I didn't even check quarterback. Hendon Hooker's probably, yep. There's my guy Hendon Hooker. So, um, Demari and Overshawn, he's a thumper. I really like him as well. Tanks Bigsby, he's kind of a hard runner. JL Skinner's nice. Jaden Reed, my guy from Michigan State. Um, Shout out to everyone at Michigan State right now too. That's what they're going through. They shouldn't have to be going through that. It's really in my backyard, and so that really hits close to me. So prayers to them. We're definitely with them in this time. So, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna take who I think would be the best player for the Lions. I'm just gonna take Andrew Versace. According to Pro Football Focus, it's a little bit of a reach, but I think getting a caliber starting guard is definitely a need more than it is necessarily a safety right now, even though we definitely need a safety as well. Same thing with corner, but we kind of already addressed that earlier in the draft. So let's see. Quarterback, because this would be kind of around Clayton Tune's there. I do like Clayton Tune. So, but I think we can maybe wait to hold off to getting him. Let's look for a safety. Okay, let's maybe check cornerback again. I don't think there's anything wrong with doubling up at cornerback. Linebacker or edge. Okay. Isaiah Land, he was a standout at the Senior Bowl. He had a couple sacks, definitely played really well. We might take him in the later rounds. And I already had a conversation with a couple of you guys. The more I think about it, I don't think tight end's really a need. They definitely have enough guys in that room that can fulfill the tight end duties. So I'm not going to take a tight end. But I definitely think that even offensive tackle technically as a backup would be possibly an ideal situation. So let's look for safety. It's tough because I don't really know a lot of these guys, but let's take Rashad Torrance from Florida. I think I've heard a little bit about him. Same thing with Trey Dean. So we're going to take him, drafted to the Lions. Kind of helps add some depth to the safety room. And then now you're just kind of trying to hit at players and trying to get players that are, for depth, for special teams, but also kind of hidden gem players that can kind of, they're like low risk players, but they can also come in and like be something. So, let's see, linebacker, edge, Isaiah Land, we could probably get with our last pick. Let's check quarterback. Clayton Tune's still there from Houston. He did. Tyson Badgett was there too. I wasn't huge on a lot of the Senior Bowl quarterbacks. I don't think that they played very well. But when it came to like the best out of all of them, I think Clayton Tune was actually probably one of the better quarterbacks in the Senior Bowl. And again, that's not saying a lot, but he did have a lot of turnovers in his career at Houston, but he also put up a lot of passing yards and touchdowns as well. So, and it's a 6th-round pick. You got a developmental guy that you can bring in, sit behind Jared Goff, learn, and actually be maybe a capable backup instead of just a Tim Boyle or a David Blau. No offense, but let's go Clayton Tune. I think that he would definitely be a good quarterback to sit behind Goff. And then at this point in the draft, again, it's kind of a crapshoot. But if Isaiah Land's still there, I might just take Isaiah Land. We don't really technically need edge, but he really did look good in the draft or in the Senior Bowl. Let's just take a look real quick, too, to see what other positions we have. Can't Cameron Brown from Ohio State. Yeah, a lot of just D. Winters. Okay, he's actually pretty solid as well. I've watched a little bit of his film. Um, so yeah, let's. I'm actually gonna, reward him for having a good Senior Bowl and standing out and playing well. I'm gonna have to definitely watch a little bit more film on him now that I'm doing this video. But let's pick Isaiah Land and call it a day. So. And that should be our last pick of the draft because the Lions had 2 6-round picks. So basically, that second 6-round pick is like a 7th-round pick because we don't have a 7th-round pick. I can definitely see Brad Holmes jumping up in the draft to trade up and stuff, but right now I just don't see him. We're just not doing that. So, all right, let's take a look, see what they graded my draft, and let me know what you guys think too down below in the comment section. But so Devon Witherspoon actually got an A. That's good. I still think that was maybe a little bit of a reach. Again, I'd like to trade down a couple spots to get him or to get a Christian Gonzalez or Porter Jr. But cornerback is a need, and I'm not going to let Jeff Okudah getting picked by the past regime to affect my viewings on picking a cornerback in the top 10. Because look at Sauce Gardner. He was the defensive rookie of the year this season, and then I think also Derek Stingley Jr. had a pretty solid rookie campaign too. So Devon Witherspoon, again, if things don't work out at cornerback, he can legit play safety, and so it's at least you got a little bit of a fallback on that if that doesn't necessarily work out. Kalijah Kancey got an A+. Again, I think that having a guy like that would definitely booster up the defensive line. Trenton Simpson, is like I said, he's just an overall linebacker. I think he's the best linebacker in this class. He can do it all. He's got size, speed, athleticism. So I really liked that pick as well. Zach Charbonnet, they gave it a C-. I mean, I get it. It was a little bit of a reach, but again, I have him as my running back 3. So it's like, running back truly is a need. It was either him or Jahmyr Gibbs. And I think, again, I like Jahmyr Gibbs is kind of like a receiving back. But when it comes to being able to run between the tackles and get, 20, 25 plus carries a game, Charbonnet is definitely more of the guy that you would look for to pick to be able to do that. So Andrew Variz got an F. Come on, Pro Football Focus. I know, according to them, it was a reach. Still, I think it's a need. I think that, the Lions will pick a guard sometime in this draft, maybe in the 2nd or 3rd round, possibly even all the way in the 1st round, with maybe that second first round pick. Who knows? But let me know what you guys think about that pick. And then also at that, it was Rashad Torrance, the safety from Florida, got a C+. Clayton Tune got a C+, and then Isaiah Land got a C+. Kind of hoping Isaiah Land kind of turns into maybe a little bit of a James Houston kind of player that kind of was from a small school, but really kind of showed out a little bit, showed some flashes, and maybe he can kind of come in and be a depth guy, and maybe, who knows, maybe he's a hidden gem as well. So just based off what he kind of did at the Senior Bowl as well. But I mean, overall, it gave me a B grade. I mean, I think that hits most of our needs. Personally, I would have liked to maybe double up at cornerback. I definitely could see them possibly adding a receiver later in the draft as well. So there's definitely some options. We'll definitely explore maybe some other drafts. But overall, I think it was a pretty solid draft. What do you guys think? Did I do a good job as a GM? Would you be okay with this draft? If there were some things that you liked or maybe you didn't like, tell me why or why not. I'd love to have a discussion with you guys. Again, this is an interactive space for all of us to, just share our opinions and respect one another and truly kind of just, be Lions fans and be fans, NFL fans in general, as we lead up to, NFL free agency and, the draft. So with that being said, if you guys like the content, if you like these videos, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and share the video. And as always, go Lions.